The sun had barely risen over the grand marble estate of Raymond Alder, a self-made millionaire whose mansion stood at the edge of the city like a silent monument to success and solitude. Inside, silence reigned, the kind of heavy silence that comes not from peace, but from emptiness. Raymond had everything a man could dream of: money, fame, and respect. Yet, he hadn't smiled in years. His world was all glass and gold, yet every reflection reminded him of what he'd lost: his wife, gone too soon, and his son, estranged and bitter. But that morning, as the first rays of light spilled through the glass walls of his mansion, something unusual stirred the air. The sound was faint, a shuffle, a small clatter, then the unmistakable rustle of movement in the kitchen. Raymond, who rarely woke before his staff arrived, froze. He slipped on his robe and made his way silently down the hall, his polished floors cold under his bare feet. When he reached the kitchen door, what he saw made his heart tighten. There, standing on her tiptoes, was a small girl, no older than 8. Her hair tangled, her clothes torn and dirty. In her trembling hands she clutched a loaf of bread so tightly as if it were the only thing keeping her alive. For a second their eyes met. Hers were wide, frightened, yet fiercely determined, eyes that had seen too much of the world far too soon. Raymond's instinct screamed to shout, to call security. But something in that gaze silenced him. It wasn't the look of a thief. It was hunger, desperation, and fear. Before we go deeper into this emotional true-to-life story, if you believe in kindness, forgiveness, and second chances, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Sul Moments Story. Your support helps us share more stories that remind the world of the power of compassion. Raymond stepped closer. "Who are you?" he asked softly, but the girl panicked. She dropped the bread and bolted toward the door. He called out, but she was already gone, disappearing through the gate like a ghost. All she left behind was a small trail of crumbs and an old frayed ribbon that must have fallen from her hair. For reasons he couldn't explain, Raymond picked up the ribbon and stood there for a long time. Something in him stirred, something that had been buried for years beneath layers of wealth and regret. The next morning, he told his chef to prepare an extra loaf of bread and leave it by the window. The chef looked puzzled but obeyed. That night, the bread was gone. The same thing happened again and again for a week. Each morning, the loaf disappeared, and each time, Raymond found himself waiting by the window, hoping to catch a glimpse of the mysterious child. Finally, on the 8th day, his wish came true. He saw her, creeping toward the kitchen window in the pale dawn light, her tiny frame trembling with cold. She reached for the loaf, but this time Raymond stepped outside. "Wait," he said gently. She froze. "You don't need to steal anymore." She turned around, ready to run again, but Raymond knelt down to her level. "It's okay. I won't hurt you. Are you hungry?" The girl hesitated, then slowly nodded. Her lips were cracked, her face pale. He led her inside, offering her a seat at the kitchen counter. As she ate, her eyes darted around the lavish kitchen, filled with more food than she'd probably seen in her entire life. When she finally looked up, she whispered, "I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to steal. My little brother hasn't eaten in 2 days. I just wanted to help him." Her words cut through Raymond like a blade. He asked her name. "Lena," she said softly. "Lena Moore." She told him about her mother who had passed away, her father who had left, and her baby brother Mason, who was too weak to walk. They lived in an abandoned warehouse nearby. Raymond listened, every word carving a deeper mark on his soul. When she finished, she stood up quickly, afraid she had said too much. "Please don't call." "The police," she begged. "I'll never come back." But Raymond shook his head slowly. "You're not going anywhere until you've had a proper meal." That day changed everything. He took her and Mason to a doctor, paid for their treatment, and arranged warm clothes and food. The children were terrified at first, unable to understand why a rich man would care about them. But Raymond didn't just give them food. He gave them time, warmth, and something they hadn't felt in years: safety. As days turned into weeks, Lena began to smile again. Mason, who had once been frail and silent, started laughing at the sound of the mansion's fountain. Raymond, who had long forgotten the sound of laughter in his home, found himself staying longer at the dinner table, just to listen. He hired a tutor for them, and made a small room in his mansion theirs. But despite all he did, he noticed Lena would often sneak out late at night. One evening he followed her, quietly, without letting her know. He found her leaving small pieces of bread and fruit near the park bench outside. When he asked her why, she said, "There are other kids out there like me. They're hungry too." That night Raymond couldn't sleep. He thought about his past, his lonely climb to wealth, the people he stepped over, and the son who had walked out on him, calling him heartless. For the first time in decades he cried. Not for what he had lost, but for what he had finally found. A chance to feel human again. The following week he made a decision that stunned everyone. Raymond Alder, the ruthless businessman, announced a new foundation dedicated to helping homeless children. He named it the Lena Hope Project. It started with providing food and shelter to street kids across the city. When the media asked what inspired him, he simply said, "A small act of courage from a hungry child." Years passed, and Lena grew up under his care. She studied hard, driven by gratitude and love. Raymond treated her and Mason like his own grandchildren, and for the first time in decades, his mansion was filled with life again. But fate, as always, had one more turn to take. One morning, Raymond collapsed in his study. His health, weakened by age, had finally caught up with him. When he woke in the hospital, Lena was by his side, holding his hand tightly. "You changed my life," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. "You saved us when no one else cared." Raymond smiled faintly. "No, Lena, you saved me first." His voice trembled. "Before you came, I was rich in everything but life. You taught me that wealth means nothing if it isn't used to heal hearts." A few days later, Raymond passed away peacefully, leaving behind not just his fortune, but his legacy. A legacy of compassion that lived through every child the foundation helped. At his funeral, hundreds of children stood with flowers in their hands, children who once had nothing, now given hope because of one man who chose kindness over judgment. Lena, now 18, stood at the front, her eyes shining with pride and sorrow. When the ceremony ended, she placed the same frayed ribbon he had once found on his grave and whispered, "Thank you for believing in me when no one else did." The years rolled on. Lena continued Raymond's work, expanding the foundation across the country. Whenever people asked her what inspired her to dedicate her life to helping others, she would tell them about that cold morning, the morning when a millionaire caught a little girl stealing bread, but saw not a thief, but a child in pain. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Sul Moments Story. Your engagement helps spread real stories that remind the world compassion can change lives.